Well, it's been a pretty mixed bag of reaction since the Frog Prince turned up unexpectedly, and we talked together on Monday night and Tuesday. I think in these situations you have to go on your gut instinct about what somebody does and what they say. I think there's an awful lot of stuff the Frog Prince has said that makes sense about why he did what he did. I also think he's used to covering his tracks and, you know, is kind of like finding his feet. And there's been a mixed bag of reaction about me giving him a final chance. I think sometimes if the love is there, you have to go in forewarned to be forearmed. I know what he's capable of. I know the truth. A lot of people have been in touch who know the Frog Prince, told me a little bit about his background that I didn't know. So I know what I'm taking on board. I'm prepared to give it a go, but I am strong enough now, and my own efforts to rescue myself and strengthen myself, and the fantastic friend network that I have in place has been amazing. I know I'm strong enough to cope now with what I need to cope with. Whether this works or doesn't work, I want it to work, but if it doesn't work, or if things didn't plan out as I'm being told they are planning out, I'm strong enough to walk away now, and that's it. But I think sometimes you just have to give it that last. I think I wasn't ready to give up on him totally. I just wanted to give him that last final chance, and us that last final chance of being the soulmates that we thought we were to each other, and we hope we are. And of course that does make me feel very sorry for the now ex-partner and her daughter, because she's suffering. However, I've been quite under attack the past few days from that source, and personally, and I'm disappointed in that, because to me she was the other woman because I didn't know about her, but to her I was the other woman, and the person for this, responsible for this, isn't her, it's not me. It is the obvious choice, but I guess she's not the same kind of person I am in respect of, when I found out about her, I did everything I could to try and respect her and to pull away, and I think I did handle it and tried to handle it with respect and dignity to her and her daughter. And I think part of the disappointment in me is that the comments being made about me from her say more about her than they do me, I'm afraid. I've been referred to as Waynetta, which is less than complimentary, I understand, but funny. That I'm a cheap tart who wears stupid shoes. That he will soon get bored with me and go back to her. That my pink nails, boobs hanging out, council house fodder, whatever that's supposed to mean. I consider myself as raised up well, and to me it doesn't matter where I live. I can be a lady inside wherever I live. References to my financial situation, if I'm such a great singer, why would I be worried about paying the bill for the car? What can you say? What can you say about that stuff? It's disappointing comments. I know you've got to have somebody to blame in your anger and hurt, but why does it always have to be, somebody, other than yourselves? Why does it have to be my fault? Why can't it be his fault? And maybe she has some responsibility in why he wasn't happy. I don't know. I don't know whether this is somebody who is a serial hunter, or whether this is somebody who has messed up because he's been unhappy. I think there may be a little bit of both in there, but bad boys can become good boys. I've seen it happen with my friends. Bad boys can always stay bad boys, and that might yet have to be seen. But I was always said on the Froglet Diaries, there has been a lot of loving things that the Frog Prince has done, a lot of good, and that continues, and he is somebody who has obviously the ability to do some bad things, unwise judgments, unwise things, and he has the ability to hurt. And that does worry me, as it would anybody building up a trust. But you know what? Everybody deserves redemption in some way or other. And this is the final chance for the Frog Prince and me as a, soulmates, a future, a love match. For me, this has been a love story, and it's been a love story with a very bumpy road. But the crash and the burn that I went into, we do get those times in our lives, and as I've said before, this was my journey. It wasn't about him, her, anybody else. It was my journey, and I wanted to chart that journey. And as a result of that, there's been a lot of interest in the Froglet Diaries. It's helping other people, which is great. But I do understand the doubt and the criticism from people who think, well, why did she do that? There are lots of reasons probably why we do things, but the unexpected result of doing the Froglet Diaries is that the Frog Prince got to see the devastation he caused, and that did affect him, and he did feel bad as well. And I know he feels bad about letting anybody down. I know he does, and I know he's hurt by the comments that are being levelled at me and him. But maybe, that's the price you have to pay. I'm not going to consider myself a victim here. I'm going to consider myself as somebody who was in a situation that she wouldn't have chosen, not for anything. And I do feel for the partner, and I do feel for the daughter, and I do feel for me and my family. But, love chooses you, and love chooses the person that you love. And if those two worlds collide, then ideally I would have wanted him to be free, as I thought he was, and he wasn't. I did what I considered the right thing in trying to respect their relationship, and unfortunately their relationship at the moment, and hopefully for my future, hasn't survived. The future, I hope, for us will not be rocky. It will be reasonably smooth now. I know he seems a lot more relaxed, and he says that I can trust him, and I'm hoping to build up that trust. He hasn't lied to me since. In fact, he's told me some quite unpleasant things, but that's made me, in a funny way, admire him, that he has come clean. And I think he has shown courage in facing up to what he's done wrong. He's been very brave about the Froglet Diaries. He's been very brave in confessing and being under fire. And maybe he deserves some of that. So, he's got to hold up his hand, hasn't he, and say, well, I did wrong. But I do wish everybody calms down, and I do wish that this road becomes a place where we all find happiness and love. Ideally in a fairy tale ending. That's what you want for everybody, and I do want that for everybody. And the Froglet Diaries are not going to stop. They're going to evolve and be hopefully a happier place, and consider some of life's problems in, as the journey progresses. It's not over yet, but it is evolving, and I hope you'll remain with me on that journey, and thank you for being there so far.